Oh, perfect. Yeah, we should be. Did we test it? Test. I
don't hear anything.
I don't either. Oh, but I didn't turn on. There we go.
Happening.
That's it. Didn't go. There. Whoops. Oh boy, look at us.
We're live.
Okay, good. And I want to see us. It's live on the thing. You can see me.
Yes.
Okay. There's StreamYard. Hi. Now, excuse me.
Hello,
Let me turn
everybody.
this on.
Oh, I see it.
Hi.
So I'm gonna be cheese ball and I'm gonna put this
There
on
we
my,
go. All right.
I'm
there we go.
sharing it. How do I
Share it.
Here we
Okay.
are.
Hit share. There you go. I'm gonna walk around this way. So
We're having fun here.
there
now.
we go. All
What's
right.
delayed, huh? That's fun.
Yeah, there's a little bit
Okay,
of a
not,
delay.
yeah, don't watch myself. All right.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm good. So, welcome. We are here at the Unleash Your Life Studios, 7220 North 16th Street. Building A, you'll know it's us because we have our ladies on the door. And as you can tell, I have a guest on the sofa. Miss Christine Tulk is with me today. And girl child, the famous Lyric Davis is helping out on tech. So that's what we got going on here at Sofa Sundays. And we have just been hanging out and enjoying ourselves, and almost forgot it was time to come and see you all. So, all right. I am going to pray us in. Would you ring the bell for me?
I will
Or the
ring
bowl.
bell. I'm gonna turn this off.
Okay.
Oh, no, do I need it on?
No, that's all right. Fair.
All right, so I chime the bell. Hello.
There we go. So just in the wonderful space that we're in, and this sound and this vibration that is the divine, knowing that there is one life, one breath, one love, one heartbeat, and that I am that, as is Christine and everyone here within the sound of my voice and beyond. So I speak my word into the law for the highest and best good of this time together, for each and every person, that they are open, that they are receiving exactly what they need, that there is love flowing in an effortless way, in between, through, and as each heart. Knowing this, I say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you, life, for this divine blessing. And I bless teachers and leaders of all faiths everywhere, knowing that their hearts are filled with the divine and that they are able to express that with their congregations, with their constituents, that each of them do what is best for the world at large. And for that, I am truly grateful. So I let this go. I call it good. I call it done. And I say, and so it is. So it is. Yay. So today we have, I know love changes circumstance. Love is the answer. Continuing on our topic of love. And I brought a love expert with me today because everything is love. And so I have a reading, as always, from the New Thoughts for Today, Anton's affiliated New Thought Network's compilation book. And as you all know, my book is starting to look well used. Today's is called Love is the Answer, and it's on page 115 for those following along at home. Love is the divine givingness. Law is the way. Love points the way. Law makes the way possible. Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind, page 43. At one of the Anton's virtual conferences, one of my colleagues talked about praying from the heart. She reminded us the feeling and the love nature of God. The heart is also wisdom, intelligence, intuition, and the essence of God. She suggested we focus all our thoughts and feelings coming through and from the heart. I have been praying and meditating from the heart in my early morning time. I place my hands over my heart and breathe in love and exhale love to the person being prayed for. I see love as a beautiful pink rose color flowing from my heart to that person's heart. The love in the person blossoms out to all the body and areas of concern. I do this slowly, and when I'm done, I feel the atmosphere in the room has changed. I feel a holiness embody me. One person I prayed for let me know he felt absolutely wonderful that day. Love as a feeling must come first. Jesus, the master teacher, said, love your enemies. Breathe in love. Hold it. Then exhale and send it to that difficult person in your life. See it enter the heart and move through and in all of his or her body. Feel love honoring differences and dissolving hurts. Love will always be the answer. I am a loving person. I send love to all I meet today. I know love changes circumstances. I know love is the answer. Reverend Dr. Abigail Albert, Interfaith and Religious Science Minister, Poway, California. I love that. I love love.
Yeah. First of all, I want to acknowledge all these beautiful souls that I'm looking at. I've been in the audience, but never up here. And, I just, this is really interesting. When you said that, I thought of something that happened to me. It wasn't that long ago. I went to get water at the water store, and I had, anyway, so you go up, I went outside and I was putting water in, and I hear this giant ruckus, and it's like people screaming at each other, and it's two homeless people, and they're pushing this grocery basket, and they're coming down the sidewalk, and he's telling her she has to eat this food, and she's screaming like they're in a giant fight, and they literally get like from here to where the computer is, and big fight. And she seems like she's just not even on this planet, not in her body. Like, and I, even as I am talking to you, I can feel my heart pounding. Like, I remember I was sitting there and I thought, all right, because it was between here and them. And I thought, well, all right, what am I going to do? And the first thing, of course, I got afraid, and I thought, well, what are you going to do? And for those of you that don't know, I've been taking Michelle Whittington's Art of Feminine Presence classes and P3 for 6 years. I was one of her first students. I've been in every single class for 6 years. And I thought, all right, well, what do you know? And so I went home, which is just going, into this place in our lower part of our body. I breathed, and I came up to my heart, and I just started focusing on love, and I just started sending her love. And I mean, it was really scary. And they acted like they had no clue that I was even there. And all of a sudden she turns around and she looks at me. And I was like, okay. I might have said shoot, but this has been, what is it, the FCC standard. It has been edited. Since we're live.
I did tell her she could be authentic.
She did say I could be authentic. I have to be a little bit careful. Anyway, so shoot. And she said, are you praying for me? And I was like, I am. And she said, thank you.
Wow.
Ooh. And everything changed. Everything just changed between the two of them. And she said, I do that. I do that for people. So thanks. I appreciate it. That's cool. Yeah, it was so cool. And
you brought her back into her body.
It did.
Yeah.
It Yeah. Yeah. And I remember when I first read this, I was laughing. Jeannie sent it to me a few days ago. And she's like, have you read it? I'm like, well, probably 45 times. I might have practiced a little bit. Anyway, but yeah, yeah, that is to me the best example that I could give of us. Like, I know love changes circumstances. Love is the
Right.
answer.
That's an amazing example of that, because there we are in a situation where we're not even connected, or you're not even this is not somebody you know, this isn't, so imagine how powerful that is when we do it in a situation where it's somebody
Where we
know.
are.
Yeah. And we're that present for love and breathing it in. We were also talking earlier, and for, you'll hear Michelle and I say that a lot too. We were talking earlier, and this starts long before 11/11. One of the things that happens with Sofa Sundays is we have an opportunity to get to know each other and talk about the topic and stuff, so that when this starts, we're already in the flow of this, right? We already have something going on. We're here. It's not a brand new thing. We're talking about the rose color.
Yeah.
And the heart math of that prayer, and being in our heart and offering love from there, especially to those we, may consider enemies, is how they put it there. But people who annoy you like little brothers, right? She loves when I talk to her. And yeah, exactly. She tries to hide. And I was looking at Facebook memories, and this is before I even was in like New Thought or doing any of this. I was an assistant manager. I might have been new in it at that point, I'm not sure, but I was an assistant manager at Fry's, and I was imagining the ceiling filled with pink love clouds. And so I'm reading this memory, and apparently then if you annoyed me, the pink love cloud would come down and eat you.
With love.
There you go. With love. Yeah. Yeah. So, right. So,
She's grown and
I've grown since then. Yeah. So I no longer send pink globs of love to eat people. Yeah. And take them away. Yeah, and take them away from my presence. But sending love to people, like, that was a scary situation that you were in, and what else could you do? It's not like you could go over and say, excuse me, let's see if we can talk this out, right? Like, you don't want to insert yourself into those kind of,
and it's interesting. My first thought, so I will tell one on myself. I used to think, well, I think I'm just so evolved. And, and one day this guy, I probably pulled in front of him in the parking lot. And I remember he was so mad. He was so angry. And back then, I thought that I had all the answers. And I remember going, I can see that you're really angry. And, I forget what I said. It didn't go well. So I had to tell on myself. It didn't. It did not work.
Yeah.
So I yeah.
Yeah. So
Circumstantial.
right.
But yeah.
But prayer of love and coming from the heart there. And we spoke, I think it was last week, it might have been the week before, about pray rain and pray love, right? To pray that love out into circumstances and situations that aren't going well, right? Where we don't have, well, even when we do have something to do in it, what's ours to do. Yeah, I don't think that praying love into a circumstance will ever be bad.
That's a true thing.
Right? I don't, so,
no.
Get yourself centered, like you were saying about, we call it going home, but really anybody, when you think about where do you have that still small voice from, that's that gut intuition, that let me anchor myself in and let go of all the head stuff. We talk about head bubbles too, all that head stuff of what we think, and then just settle in to that intuitive part of us that says love.
You know what it brings up for me is I think about, like, if you think about the antithesis of love, it's fear. So if you think about fear is contractual, like it contracts us, like we literally contract, like we literally go within, we contract, and then love is expansive. So the other words I think that come to me when I'm thinking about love are appreciation, gratitude, compassion. In this, it talks about the heart being, I think it says, intelligence, wisdom, and the essence of God. And I don't know who it was. Hi, Miss Sweet Abby, honey. I don't know who it was last week that said, and I loved it. There were two things that were said last week, and I was listening online, and I was like, oh my God, I have to tell them about when you breathe in air.
Oh yeah.
Like God is in
That
the
was
air.
Tara. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I loved that.
I know.
And so thank you. I have thought of that all week.
So have I. Yes.
Yeah,
that
I know
was-
that you acknowledge
Yes,
that.
that was the.
And
that
so
was my.
think
so-
about that expansiveness of love and of God. Like that's expansive. And then someone else talked about, and I don't know if it was you, Evie, about your sitting with your cats or your animals. Someone talked about, that and feeling very loved. And the other thing you said, Evie, that I loved was I thought it was kind of cute. You said that you might be kind of cynical or you might have some doubts or whatever, but you still come because it feels better, right? I don't know why, but you two went to see Abraham Hicks.
Yes, we did.
Abraham Hicks says the coolest thing. And I just live by this, and I probably shared it at least once a week. Abraham Hicks was having a conference, and somebody raised their hand because Abraham always says, "Do what feels better." Like what?
Yeah.
Feels better?
What feels better?
Dude raises his hand. Well, what if it feels better to drink beer and eat Doritos on the couch? And lovingly, she says, "Then do that. Do that." Because then the next time you're going to want to do that, you're going to know what that felt like. And you'll see, how that felt. Did that actually feel better? So I thought that was great. I mean, those are kind of some of the things that came up for me, Jeannie, when I was going through this with that experience and then that expansive nature of God, of love. And, in my mind, God and love are synonymous.
Right.
And, yeah. It keeps coming to me, so I'm going to do it. I'm an intuitive person. I don't know why I'm going to share this, but when we were doing this, I have a sister that I haven't spoken to since 2005, not by my choice. And I want to put this out there in this room that again today, I've been doing it all week. Again today, I put that she was the person I filled with love, and I want to see what happens.
There you go, an experiment in love.
I want to see what happens. I really do, because I'm not, like, I have a lot of sadness around it. I don't know how to reach her, but I'm going to put it out there. So I challenge each of you, like if you can think
Oh, I
of
love
someone
Yeah.
or something. I'm a big proponent of supporting each other. Like I'm this giant proponent of, like, where two or more are gathered together, there I
Absolutely.
am in
Yeah.
the midst of thee. And if there's something today that is kind of heavy on your heart, I sound like a minister. Don't I?
Ooh.
Oh my God, that just brought up my Baptist ministry days. I remember, let's not go down there. Woo, that was interesting. That trigger. Woo, that's funny. Sorry, everybody. I had a moment.
I agree.
You did agree to have me on.
I
this
did.
one.
I agree with you about that challenge.
Really?
If there's someone or something on your heart that this is an absolute perfect challenge to send that love, that heartfelt love, fill them with that and see what happens, what changes, and I mean,
And let's support it together. Like, let's
Yeah.
support each other. I know you all have something. I mean, if
Right.
you don't, please stand up right now and tell me, because I want to know who you are.
Yeah, and how you did it.
So good to be your friend. But I do. And, you know, I'm an intuitive body worker. And again, like that just kept coming to me. And I thought, I have a Facebook page called The Real Christine Talk. The Real Christine Talk. And how that came about was during the pandemic. I'm a body worker. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that what I did in the world could hurt someone. And it was at that moment that I realized, wow, like if I got COVID, somebody else could die. Or masks, face shields. And so I thought, well, it's time to get real, Christine. It's time to actually start telling people who you are really in the world. Because I haven't always been real about who I am and my intuition and my gifts. And, I read tarot, I do astrology, like I do all these things. And I've hidden a lot of that because, well, the world isn't all that kind sometimes about that kind of thing. So back to my statement, I'm going to go back to that because it feels important. If there is something heavy on your heart, I really invite you to put it out there. And I really want to open it up to all of you to say, can you support me with? Because I love doing that. I used to work, and we talked about this.
Yeah.
I used to work in the Silent Unity Prayer Room, which was at Unity Village back in my 20s. And I was telling them, for those of you that don't know, Unity Church was founded by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. Myrtle Fillmore was healed by the power of prayer, by affirmative prayer. And so she and her neighbor ladies, they started this whole Silent Unity. And 1898, can you imagine, woman, 1898, starting an affirmative prayer line? Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have some people, some pioneers before us. But what I was telling them is I got the opportunity to work there where prayer had been going on for over 100 years, for every 24 hours. And so I had to be very careful what I said in that room, because when you said that, it manifested. And so what I love about Sofa Sundays, I love about you, I love about Michelle is community, what you brought to the community. So I have to be ushy-gushy for a second. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Like, thank you for who you are in the world. You make a difference. You made a difference for me. And
I didn't mean to make you cry.
it's love.
It is love.
That's love.
Yeah.
That's love.
And the fact that we have this community here is something that is so special, as you said, and you all know because you're in. It is something that brings love and holds love, and I feel that situations that come up for us where maybe love isn't our first thought, those are the things to go to. Yes, get your intention rocks up here. Exactly. Our sweet lyric put the flower pot up. So.
And there's some heavy things going on in the world. And I think if we don't acknowledge them, then we're doing ourselves a disservice.
Yeah, for sure. There are a lot of things.
And so I love what you said. You said, it can't hurt.
Nope. Right? It can't make it worse, right?
It can't. So
love can't make it worse.
Like surrounding our world in love, surrounding, just everyone here in love, if, whatever that looks like. I really, I know what I used to do. Oh my God. Hypatia Hasbrook. She was a Unity minister. I know I'm always just, I met her back in my 20s, and she did the Handbook of Positive Prayer. And she called it casting a novena. No, she called it a novena. and she'd say, oh, casting a fleece, excuse me. She'd say, all right, what you're going to do is you're going to cast a fleece out there. You're going to throw it out there that you want X to show up. And then the novena, what she had people do was she said, just every hour on the hour, when that hour comes up, focus on that intention, focus on what it is that you're wanting to manifest. Coming from love.
I love that.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. So okay. So let's think about that a second. So
All right. I'm going to throw it over to you.
all right. So we're thinking. So
What's the whole thing?
we're casting out our fleece, right? So a fleece being like a blanket,
Yeah.
right? You know?
Whatever
Yeah.
what she said, casting out what it is you want to manifest.
Mhm. So
And then really setting up that we're all going to support each other and that
Mhm.
happens.
and then every hour,
Well,
I like that one too.
I love that. But, not everybody is, wants to do that, but
Right.
it is. It's like, all right, what time is it? So at noon, start it.
And then-
when you think about it, and then when one rolls around, or actually you'll go, oh crap, it was 1:45. Well, all right, I'll do it
Right.
then.
And that's what I was going to say, because if I'm looking to manifest something, it comes to my mind at least once an hour, right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it does happen. I'm thinking about something that happened recently, and that we got an opportunity to do, Dakota and I, to go up and have a little dream of an area we would like to live in.
Ooh.
So there's something I would like to, and so that's something we'll talk about. We'll drive around. We want mountains. We want to see them. We want them to be in our neighborhood. We want to hike them. We want to enjoy them. So there's the thing that we have thrown out.
So
And
where is said place so we can both support you?
so where it's not quite here in this part. We would like a little bit north of Phoenix. So
but still in the state?
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Seattle.
so we want our summer house in Seattle.
Okay,
Just
only 1 month.
yeah, 1 month a year.
I
we'll
hear
go
you
to
when it's
South.
not raining and cold.
Right, it's beautiful there that month, and yeah. So, but like Cottonwood, Sedona, Prescott, just an hour to an hour and a half north of here, with the mountains and stuff. But as we drive around Phoenix and see our mountains, we are grateful and appreciating, and even driving here on the 51 today, we're like, look at the green on these mountains and how beautiful it is. Yeah. And so I encourage you for that. It's like, even though that's not necessarily where we're looking, the appreciation of what it is.
And so again, what I'm hearing is that's those expansive qualities,
Yes.
like the appreciation, the gratitude, like staying in the expansive qualities I called of spirit.
Right. To allow that to come in,
Yeah.
to allow that to change the circumstance and to be the answer. And
I love where this is going.
yes,
It's interesting.
with the expansion too, allows us not to get tunnel vision, right? How many times have we decided this is what it's going to be, right? This is the thing, and then other things show up, but they're not what we've decided it was, so they go away, right? So, but with the expansion, now I can appreciate and be grateful for the other things that show up that may be better, right? So for my prayers are always this or better.
This or something better.
Yes.
This or something better. I love that. Is it Joe Dispenza? I love it. He talks about creating things out of a place that is in the unknown. Because he said you can't solve a problem. Well, you can, but traditionally, if you have something that a hurdle you can't get over, you can't solve that with this subconscious group of thoughts that you've always been using. Because once again, then you get into that doing things over and over again and expecting the same results.
Right.
So again, when I think about the love changing the circumstances, it changes our brain, it expands our minds. We get into a new form of thinking, and then what's supposed to show up shows up. So who knows where you're going to end up, but
Right.
you have a vision. And I'm sorry, I keep quoting people, but I love to read and I love all these teachers. I don't mean to be that guy, but
That's okay. You can
one
do that.
other one. It's just beautiful. Michael Singer. How many of you read the Surrender Experiment? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So tell me what you got out of the Surrender Experiment. Do you mind? I want to know
Very.
because I want to know what somebody else got out of it. I love that. What's your name?
Marilyn.
Marilyn. Marilyn's going to talk right now. And if we had camera 2, I'd put it on Marilyn.
Right.
And I'm going to be quiet.
Well, I'll say first that the first book of his that I read was the
Untethered Soul.
Untethered Soul. Yes. And after I'd read that 2 or 3 times, then I decided to read the Surrender Experiment because it was like his personal story. It's not theoretical stuff. It's like what really happened to him and how he dealt with it. And he just said yes. I mean, that was his whole purpose, was to just say yes when he was presented with things. And to see where it took him in his life. He, was the head of some big company, and he started living like a hippie on land in a tent or a camper or something. But he just kept saying yes when people wanted to come meditate with him. He said yes, even though he didn't want to. And it really helped me to understand how often we say no and we turn away the possible good that could come to us because we can't see, it doesn't look, he didn't want to be a computer programmer or what all the various things that happened in his life, but his commitment was to say yes, to not say no when each thing presented. So yeah, it's quite an exercise in submission and acceptance.
Yeah. I like that. And saying yes to life. There was he came home one day and he went somewhere. He came home one day and there was a woman living in his house that he built. And he's like, oh, hi, Linda, or whatever her name was. Forgive me, Michael, if you're watching. And,
And thank you, Michael, for watching.
anyway. But he's like, okay, well, I really don't want to live with Linda, or whatever her name was. And he's like, so he just built another house and he let her live in that house and he built another house. And he did that over and over. Like he just did that over and over and he became like a billionaire. And then, I won't spoil the story for you, but he still has a place in outside of, I think it's Gainesville, Florida. And he's amazing. And why I brought this up is I read speaking of podcasts, I was listening to this podcast, this one guy, he's like, you've got to go see Michael Singer because he's the real deal. He lives from love every single moment of his life. So when you talked about that, Marilyn, about love, it's that expansive nature of God and living in the yes. And it changes circumstances.
And can take you places.
Yeah. I can't wait to come visit your place in the mountain.
Right.
Talking about constriction, no constricts it.
Or just say it again.
Just
for
say
us
it
here.
again for
So
for Michael Singer who's watching.
Yeah, for Michael Singer who's watching.
Well, we've talked about the expansiveness versus the constriction
Yeah.
of fear and those things.
Yeah.
But when you say no, it constricts you. When you say yes, it expands you.
Exactly.
Yeah, just think about that from the standpoint of just loving our enemies. Like, so what I have learned as a body worker is pain comes from resistance. Pain comes from resistance. And so part of it is that non-resistance to living life, living in love, and especially to those people that we want to resist.
That
because
we want the pink block to come in.
yeah, we want the big block to come in. And I think that's perfectly okay.
I do too. I do too.
Go ahead. Yes, please.
I actually have an evolved idea of the pink blob. The pink blob comes down and pulls off all the illusion, and then you're left with just love.
Ooh,
Oh,
very beautiful.
thank you. Thanks for making my pink blob evolve. I appreciate that. There we go. Right. And there is that, right? That well, all right, I'm gonna go to that next step level that everybody can recall. Remember when you first fall in love? Like how you don't have to eat, how you don't have to sleep.
I remember.
That like every song that comes on the radio is about them and you and the amazing magic that is life. And that feeling, now we can all recall it, right? We don't all live in it all the time, right? But we can all recall that. And that feeling is so expansive, right? Because when you're at that level of love, nobody bothers you. Then there's no need for a pink block, right? Because even the people that are being not so nice, it's like, oh, like we don't even notice them, right? Our eyes don't even see, and that's when we say the rose-colored glasses, right?
Yeah.
We don't even notice those things at that time period. So there is that has a lot to do with oxytocin and stuff, but there is that idea of love being that magnetic change, and how Amy described it is that removing the illusion. Because if God is love and all there is God, then all there is love. And if all there is God, then all we are is God. And if all we are is God, then all we are is love. So that illusion being taken away from that person that is love, regardless of what beer and Cheetos,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Regardless of whatever decision that they have made, right? Your decision as love can be different. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Because I'm still trying to catch up with myself.
I like it. That's a beautiful thing you just said. And what I hear in that, I mean, I go back to my first teaching in Unity. There's only one presence and one power in the universe, God, the good, omnipotent. I've struggled with that over the years. And why I've struggled with it is because you said something, the illusion. To some folks that are in it, it doesn't feel like an illusion. And that's what's hard. I think that's the hardest piece. But what you're saying is ultimately, if we can come back to that love and know that it's all love, then it's, it does change the circumstances. And I feel like in this room, like that's just a no-brainer. Like I look at all of you and it's like you all live, you live there. That's why you're here.
Right.
And it is interesting because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of us. There's 10 of us. And you would think there would be 4,000 of us, right? So that may be a little bit of a challenge because do you ever encounter that? I just want to say that out loud.
Yeah.
I just want to say that out loud.
Sure.
So just know that you're not alone. And thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the change because you do make a difference. You do.
And sometimes it's hard to remember that because we do feel like a small amount, but a small dedicated amount of people can make a difference.
Oh my gosh. So
There is a quote there, but I don't remember.
No, I know. So what I will tell you, I studied heart math, and I won't go into that in detail. If you want to look it up, look up heartmath.org. It's about learning to live in coherence, which is just a state of balance between mind, body, and emotions. That's actually, yeah. And what they say is so cool. And this is they literally have sensors around the
Mhm.
world that measure heart coherence and groups of people that are meditating in coherence. And they literally are finding, and this is what I love about HeartMath, because it literally is measuring what you just
Mhm.
said. I mean, it's just measuring that love and that group love and that connectedness. And what they were saying, like, if you have 4 people in a room and there's 3 in coherence, the other one will come into coherence.
And we watched that when we for those that were at the Greg Braden years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh,
watched
yeah.
him do that.
Oh yeah, he did it.
He got somebody up from the audience and got them out there and measured they put
The
the
coherence. Yes.
coherence, and the whole room got brought into it.
Shifted the whole.
It
and
was
that's-
amazing.
So coherence in my mind is love, and they're measuring love, and they're measuring the impact of love. So that's pretty phenomenal. And yeah, it's pretty cool. They have sensors that you can hook on your ear and measure your heart rate variability and measure your coherence. There's it's called the Global Pulse Initiative. If any of you are interested, there's a global coherence pulse that they do once a month. There's the Global Coherence Pulse Initiative, which actually is what measures the coherence and the difference it's making on Earth. And then what's the app that I have? I love it so much.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's
Well, it's the Global Coherence.
Mhm.
It's from the HeartMath Institute. And you can join, and I love it so much. You can join. You don't have to get a sensor. You put your finger right on the camera, and it measures your coherence.
Wow.
Oh, it's really cool. And then you join a group, and it's people all over the world that
And
have
what's the
this
name of that?
commitment. It's Global Coherence.
Writing that
The
down. I'll put it in
Global
the
Coherence app.
I'll put it in
Global
the thing.
yeah, put it in the
Yeah.
because it's really cool.
Global
So for
Coherence.
those of you, because you are those people, you want to make a bigger difference and you want to do something. They do a every Wednesday care focus. They have a global coherence pulse once a month. Online, there's a global coherence pulse you can join, and there's guides. You can do it every day, and it's so fun because let me see there are 4 currently active globally right now. You can look at the map and you can see where the people are. I'm just trying to see who's doing this. So people, oh, it's connecting to sensors.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sometimes.
But anyway, well, it's fine. But you can look on the map and see where people are. There's people from all over the world. So if you want to connect with folks that actually are doing this on a global level.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
To see the dynamics throughout the world of people that are like-minded, right?
Yeah, especially if we get to feeling alone. Because sometimes I'll think, oh, I'm just feeling kind of alone. I will get on that and I'll look at somebody that's in the Ukraine or somebody was in from Iran the other day, all over the world, Japan, and you're just doing. It's really simple, and this is where I have to because this is what it made me think of. It's really simple. A quick coherence. Can I take people?
Yes, please.
I love that we got to this. Okay, this is so cool. Very simple. This is actually called a quick coherence technique. And so just close your eyes. And it was in the reading, so we might as well embody it. So if you feel comfortable to do so, put your hand on your heart. And just start breathing from the area of your heart. And what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in for a count of 5. And exhale for a count of 5. Inhaling for 5. And exhaling for 5. And as you do this, I invite you to focus on something that you appreciate, something that you're grateful for. It may be your partner, it may be a friend, it may be a furry one. Something that when you focus on it, your whole heart fills with gratitude. And if your mind wanders, just bring it back to your breath, bring it back to what you're grateful for, and just notice. Notice what you're doing. Notice what's happening. Just keep that breathing in for 5 and exhaling for 5. And I want you to be aware that there are people from around the globe doing this with us as we speak. So you are part of a greater good, a greater love, making a greater difference. And while we're at it, why don't we send Mother Earth some love and all her inhabitants? Anyone who's suffering, we just send them love. And I love that pink image of just sending love. Knowing that we can make a difference. And I want you to focus on every person in this room, these beautiful, loving spirits that have chosen to be with you today. We send healing love and gratitude. And whatever is on your heart that I know that you want to have healed, I just see it done and completed. And I want you to know, I love you. And whenever you're ready, you can just open your eyes. And remember when she talked about the room changing, when she did her meditations in the morning? I want you to feel that. Can you feel that?
Yeah, I so feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ooh,
That was intense.
that was. I'm like, wow. Yeah, we definitely have a shift there, and I'm so grateful for that. Well, I think that's a good place for us to leave it.
Yeah. it
For
was
sure.
great.
How does everybody feel? Feel complete? Yeah. I just want to say thank you so much, Christine, for joining me on the
I
sofa.
had so much fun.
I am so glad. I love sharing you. I love sharing you because you are an amazing, amazing teacher and lover of life and have so much to offer. So thank you.
So
Thank
thank you for seeing me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm so glad you all are here today and everyone online. We thank you so much.
Good morning.
It
She's
just tells
posted there.
you Facebook users, you have to wait until afterwards.
Oh,
We can see
I will
that.
respond.
There
not
we go.
personally. If there's anybody out there, I know I put it on my Facebook page too.
Yes, I appreciate that.
And I want
Good
to do a
moment.
complete shout out to my chicken feeders. For
Yes.
those in the room, you don't know who that is. I have 9 chickens, and
Aw.
every morning
Around
at around 7:30.
7:30.
Well, it's sunrise,
Right.
whatever that is. In
That's
July,
right.
it's 5:30, sometimes 5. I go live on Facebook, and I let my chickens out. And I started that during the pandemic, and I did it because I was just bored. But it's been so neat because
so much
we
fun.
created this beautiful family. So all my little chicken feeders, I
Hey,
love
hi,
you so
chicken
much. I know you're out there watching.
Exactly.
And I love you all. Thanks for your love and support. And it's been a pleasure. And Abby, I love you. I hope you're okay.
Laryngitis.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right. Sorry, we have somebody in the room that I just couldn't stand it. I'm like, I'm not gonna pretend like she doesn't feel good. I love you over there. Yeah.
I love
And you
that.
too, and whatever brought tears to your eyes. I see you. Anyway. And I love you.
I love you.
So I want to acknowledge Michelle and Jeannie for this. Like, it's a bold move to do this, and thank you.
Thank you.
Like, really, thank you for making a difference for all of us and for who you are in the world. So
Thank
there
you.
you go.
I appreciate that. I really do. This is definitely a love
It is.
a love project.
It is.
Yeah.
I know that.
So grateful everybody joined us today, and thank you so much for the heart coherence. And again, if you'd like to support us, I figured out how to do a banner, and it shows there. It says www.beginwithinministries.com that's at the end of our
Oh.
little thing over there.
Oh.
I think I figured it
I
out.
love that.
And you can go on and make a one-time donation, or you can join and become a Spiritual Church Club partner. You can also support us by sharing us, by commenting, by being part of our Facebook group. We appreciate all of that and all of that support and all of you. So thank you so much for being with us today. We love you.
Love
Bye.
you all. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Where's the thing?
There you go.